So come and join me at the top of the mat as soon as you're ready. Feet either hip distance apart or big toes touching, and taking a moment to close down the eyes. Cultivating your connection to your breath, to your body, to this moment, and ultimately your life. Be aware of the observer as you bring your awareness fully and completely to the here and the now. On your exhalation, release your hands, opening your eyes. We'll circle and sweep hands high on the in-breath. On the exhalation, moving into your forward fold, releasing your head and shoulders, last looking to your knees. On your in-breath, either hands to shins or fingertips to floor before stepping or hopping, and we'll transition through a chaturanga, a yogi push-up, on knees or toes. On the in-breath, rolling open through the heart space as you energize the muscles between your shoulder blades. And then please ease yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees as much as you need as you gaze between your feet. And we want to feel the connection between all of the muscles in the front of the body. So from the palms of your hands to your throat, to your chest, to your core, to your thighs, to the tops of your toes. Taking one more deep breath in and out. On the in-breath, to the tips of the toes you'll go. On your exhalation, bend your knees, look where you're going, walking or hopping. We'll lift and lengthen before easing our way into our forward fold. Rise and shine, press your palms, look to your thumbs, but then just release your right hand to your right thigh. Take a breath in to really lengthen through the left side of the torso. And then ease your way towards your right knee crease, opening all of the fascia, all of the muscles through the left side of the body. Energize through your core, through your legs, through your feet. Take one more deep, expansive breath into your left lung. And on your inhalation, let your hands reach high before easing your way back into your forward fold. On the in-breath, lift your heads, lift your hearts flat back before stepping or hopping, transitioning through a yogi push-up, choosing baby cobra or upward facing dog as you broaden your collarbones. And then ease your way up and back, downward facing dog. Please shorten your stance a tiny bit if needed. And then your right hand will reach for your left calf, your Achilles, or your heel. Press really firmly into your feet and your left hand, spiraling, and think about flexing through your spine. So angry cat. As we turn through the neck to look under the left shoulder. Just one more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, ground your hand and let's open through the right hip. So once again, really press firmly into your hands as you lift and open through the right hip joint. Please bend your knee and just press your foot towards the left. And then counterbalance that by pressing more energetically through your right hand. Scoop the belly, tuck the chin. Gazing at your left big toe for one more deep breath in. And on your next inhalation, you'll lengthen through the leg before gently releasing that foot mindfully to the floor. We'll inhale to the toes. Exhale, bend our knees, looking where we're headed. Stepping or hopping, lift and lengthen. Exhale, feel that beautiful length coming into your hamstrings and spine. Rise and reach on the in-breath. And on the exhalation, releasing your left hand to your left thigh. How open and long can you make the right side of the body as you breathe in? And then ease your way over towards your left knee crease as you breathe out. Foundational strength in your feet, your legs, your glutes, your core. And then flood the breath in to all of that beautiful fascia and muscle through the right side. On your next in-breath, we rise, we look up before easing our way in. On the in-breath, exaggerating the length through the arms, the legs, and the spine. And dynamically moving through to high plank, transitioning with the elbows tight, belly strong, easing our way into extension from the soles of our feet to the crown of our head. And up and back we go to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, shorten your stance if needed, and it's left hand moving to your calf, to your Achilles, or to your heel. Press so firmly into your feet and your right hand, and think flexion, think angry cat, as we spiral to look under the right shoulder. When you're ready, ground with your left, reset your foundation, and then exploring left hip mobility. So actively moving into hip extension, and then we externally rotate the thigh to access a little bit more freedom of movement before bending into our left knee. Press your left foot towards your right, but then press ever so firmly into your left hand to counterbalance the rotation. Gazing at your right big toe. One more full round of breath to open through the back of the right leg and through the left hip. On the in-breath, we'll lengthen. On the exhalation with control, we'll allow our left foot to find the floor. We'll inhale to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend our knees like we're on the starting blocks. And then walking or hopping, we'll lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Rise and reach. Press your palms, look to your thumbs before releasing your hands home to your hearts. Samastitihi. So building a little flow together, we'll come through to chair pose, Utkatasana. Check that the weight is more on your heels and that you're scooping through the lower belly. Just one more breath here. And on the exhalation, easing our way into our forward fold. On the in-breath, we lift, lengthen, look forward. And we'll step our right leg way back before we release our right knee and release our right foot. Crawling up so your hands are resting on your left thigh. Transition your weight forward to open through the right hip flexor. And then exaggerate the lifting of the torso to open that fascial line even more. Please energize into your back leg like you're going to lift, but we're not going to lift. And feel how the engagement of the opposing muscles brings more length and sensation. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, let's ground just with our right hand, tuck our right toes, and move into half Hanumanasana, just a hamstring stretch. Toes will elevate to bring more of a neural sensation. And then I'd love for you to create a little bit of rotation if it feels good to your body. Maybe even reaching high with your left hand. And you're welcome to look to your left thumb if the balance will allow. Lengthening through the left hamstring by drawing your left hip back. Taking one more full breath in. And on the exhalation, ground your hand to the inside of your foot before swinging that leg around. Bring your big toes together, but tuck your feet. So the balls of the toes are on the floor, and we're moving into child's pose just with the feet in that tucked position to create some length through the plantar fascia. The soles of the feet need to be stretched. They need love as much as the rest of the body. So tucking the toes, opening up through the soles of the feet for one more breath. And then ease your way forward, lift into a downward facing dog. Take one breath in, that brings us to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Right foot steps between your hands, and we'll just repeat that sequence on the other side. Release your left knee. Release your left toes, crawl up. Shift forward so your knee is tracking over your second and third toe. And then in the back leg, energize it so much that you could lift, but we won't. And we're creating stability to enhance the stretch through the front of the body. So strengthening posterior chain as we open up the myofascial line through the front of the body. Taking one more full breath in. And on the exhalation, we'll bring our left hand to the inside as we tuck our back toes and lengthen through our right leg. Please lift through the toes, draw the toes towards your shin, creating a beautiful neural stretch on top of your muscular stretch. And then revolve if the spine will allow. And notice how that changes the sensation in the leg. And please feel free to reach high and gaze to your right thumb if balance will allow. So creating more length through the right hamstring by dragging the heel back. It won't move. And then consciously square the pelvis. Right hip back, left hip forward. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, grounding to the inside, bringing the leg around. So once again, I want you to tuck your toes and bring your knees wide. Variation 1, you'll move back into that little bit of modification on child's pose. Variation 2, you'll sit on your heels with your hands resting on your thighs. In variation 2, we're going to stand on our knees, keep the toes tucked, press the pelvis forward and create a mini back bend shape. So because the knees are wide, we will definitely be feeling our adductors, our inner thighs. And as we deliberately press the pelvis forward, we'll feel the hip flexors beginning to really open. And some of us will feel this through the abdominal wall, maybe right into the shoulders, into the chest, maybe through the front of the throat. So wherever you are, actively tuck your tailbone, lift through the pelvic floor, press the pelvis forward, and take 3 more breaths. One more breath in. Bring the chin back first as we gently begin to sit the heels back onto the heels. Hands come forward. And pausing for 1 breath in your modified child's pose, please. We'll work our way back into our downward facing dog, feeling all the benefit of that movement. On our in-breath to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Ready, set. Walking or hopping, lift and lengthen. Exhale, chin towards shins. Bend your knees to your chair pose. Come to Utkatasana. Let's just stay here for 2 breaths. How low do you want to go? 1 more breath before pouring yourselves in, releasing your head. On the in-breath, lift, lengthen, looking forward before stepping once again, right leg way back. Release your right knee, release your right toes, crawl up once again with the hands, shift the weight forward, and now energize the back leg. You might even lift it this second time. So press into your hands to open the front of the torso, energizing through your glutes, through your hamstring, through your calves, strengthening posterior chain, opening front body for 1 more deep breath in, and then releasing through the knee. Tuck your toes, right hand to the earth. As we begin to lift through the back leg, we'll now lengthen into a modified pyramid. So you could always stay in that half Hanumanasana or now come into your modified pyramid. So we're drawing upwards through the left foot into dorsiflexion. We're creating rotation once again through the spine and only reaching upwards if your shoulder will allow. Do you want to look at that thumb? Test the water, staying and breathing as we square the pelvis. 1 more breath in. And on the exhalation, we'll look down, we'll ground our left hand to the inside, and let's move to the midline of the mat. Lift your heads, lift your hearts, finding connection to your core. Ground with your left hand, and please bring your right hand into the curve of your lower back. Turn your torso towards your right. So shoulders stacking as feet and legs stay powerful. Bend your knees as much as you need. And then only reaching skywards if your neck will allow. So finding the foundation through feet, through legs, through core. And then lightness and length through the torso, through the arms. For one more deep breath in. On the exhalation, let's replace that hand and try the other side. So press really firmly into your right hand. Start with it in the curve of the lower back, through the left. Turning torso as we press firmly into the pinky toes. Sending your left arm skywards only if it feels therapeutic. Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, deep breath in. And on the exhalation, releasing the hands. Hello there, inhaling up. And then let's pivot back to the top of the mat. Step back into your downward facing dog. And as we did at the beginning, just finding one deep breath that brings us to the tips of the toes. On the out breath, bend your knees. It is your right foot stepping forward. Release your left knee, release your left toes, hands to your thigh. Press femur forward, and then energizing through your left leg, maybe even lifting that left leg. Front body opening, posterior chain strengthening. Last 2 breaths. One more breath in before gently releasing your left knee, tuck your left toes, ground through your left hand. So as we move either into half Hanumanasana once again, or the option of lifting into a modified pyramid pose, we're turning the torso regardless. We're reaching high if the shoulder allows. And balance will come into the equation as soon as we turn our eye gaze towards that top hand. Last 2 breaths. One more full breath in. And on the exhalation, just ground your foot, frame your foot, and let's step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift your heads, lift your hearts. On the exhalation, pour yourselves in. Utkatasana, come to your chair pose just for a breath up. And on the exhalation, back in we go. Inhale, lift your heads, lift your hearts. So we're adding a few bits and pieces. Send your fingertips a little further forward towards the top of your mat. And begin to lift your right leg any amount that feels possible for you. Left knee can be bent. Right toes could stay on the floor. But just find where your edge is today. So option 1, stay exactly as you are. Variation 2, I'd love for you to bend into your right knee. And option 3, take your left hand to your left shin. If you feel like there's some room to play with, you'll take your left hand to search for your right foot. And if you find it, you'll then kick your foot into your hand to open through the quadricep, the hip flexor on the right, and challenging our balance for the rest of the body. Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, deep, beautiful breath in before we all release the option that we took. Stay in Warrior 3 supported. And now how slowly, smoothly can you land in that lunge? So bend into your left knee, find your toes at the back of your mat, release your knee, release your toes, and crawl up. Shift forward, take your right hand high. Please, once again, energize your back leg, stay grounded, or explore that lifted position and create as much front body opening with a slight body back bend if you can. Last 2. One more deep breath in before we release the knee, release the hand, tuck the back toes, and lift that back knee. Moving into that Modified pyramid pose with the left leg lengthening, the left toes lifting, and the left arm reaching skywards for 2 more breaths. 1 more deep breath in. On the exhalation, please look down. Bend deeply into your left knee and take your left hand back to your thigh. Pivot through your right foot and let's meet in a warrior 2. But slide your right hand into the curve of your lower back. So pressing knee towards second and third toe. Hip and knee aligned, shoulders stacking over top of the pelvis. Just 1 more deep breath in and out. We'll rise high, turn toes towards the long edge of the mat, and now familiar territory as we ground the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Lengthen your legs if there's room. Begin to turn through your torso if the body will allow, sending your right hand high, maybe even gazing at your right thumb. Just 2 breaths. 1 tricky little transition coming up. We're ready. We're ready. So keeping your arms as they are. Bend your knees, turn your toes out. You're sliding through towards the back of your mat and landing maybe softly, please. Turning now into a really beautiful twist. Ground into your right foot, ground into your right hand. Turning to look over your right shoulder. Energize the left foot, the left quadriceps. Taking 2 more breaths. On your next inhalation, return your eye gaze. Release the twist, point your toes, and holding onto your knee. Sit tall, option 1. Hinge back, variation 2. Release your hands, variation 3. On your in-breath, lifting to a 45-ish. Exhaling to lower. Just 4 more, please. Inhale, no compromise through your spine. Exhale to gently release. Last 3. Chest is proud, heart is buoyant. One more time. Lift, pause, and hold before crossing our ankles. Take your version of a vinyasa. So crossing over, moving through your high plank into a push-up. Energizing into your back bend of choice before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. On the in-breath to the tips of the toes. On the exhalation, look where you're going towards the back of your mat. Walking or hopping, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees to chair pose. Take your hands up as we breathe in. And then immediately pour yourself in again. Lift your heads, lift your hearts. Take your fingertips towards the back of your mat. And begin to experiment with your supported warrior 3 on the other end. So feet only lift as high as it feels therapeutic. Variation 1, we stay here. Variation 2, we're bending into our left knee, keeping pelvis stable. And then option to take your right hand to your right shin. If you feel like there's still some space to play with, you're taking right hand to search for your left foot. Kick your foot into your hand. Keep your spine long. Taking 3 more breaths. One more breath in. And on the exhalation, we'll meet in supported warrior 3. Transitioning to our low lunge. Begin to bend into your right knee, land your left toes, and then release your left knee. Crawl up with your hands on your right thigh. Shift the weight forward as you uncurl your toes. And then option to stay grounded. Option to take your left arm high. And then maybe lifting into that back thigh. Charge the leg. Energize your core. Take a baby back bend if you did on the first side. Last 2 breaths. Grounding through the hand, grounding through the knee. Let's tuck our toes and either moving into a half Hanumanasana or that modified pyramid pose. Rotation regardless, reaching high if your shoulder will allow. Take your eye gaze to really test your balance, your proprioception. Last 2 breaths. One more breath in before returning your eyes, grounding into your back knee and grounding into your foot. We're moving to warrior 2, so pivot your back toes, rise and reach, and loop your left hand into the curve of your waist. Hip and knee alignment, knee tracking over the ankle. Last 2 breaths. One more, please. We'll lengthen, we'll turn our toes to the long edge of the mat. And as we come into that wide leg forward fold, readjust your feet, bend your knees as much as you need. And once you find the perfect amount, you'll rotate your torso towards the left, reaching high with the left hand, maybe gazing at your left thumb. Last 2 breaths. Ready for that tricky transition? We bend, we pivot, we slide through. And once we've landed safely, we're taking a very lovely gentle twist, looking over our left shoulder. How tall can you grow as you breathe in? How much can you let go as you breathe out? Returning your eye gaze on the in-breath. Release the twist on the out-breath. Point your right toes. Option 1, sit tall. Variation 2, hinge back. Variation 3, reach the arms away. We inhale to challenge our core stability, exhaling to lower. So strengthening through the quadricep, the hip flexor, and the abdominals all together. Last 3. 2 to go. Whew. One more time. Inhale, lift before we exhale and release. I'd like for you to keep this shape as you roll onto your back. So take your right leg high, keep your left knee to your chest, take a breath in together. And on the exhalation, lower only as far as it feels really good to your right hip. Inhale again to lift that leg. Exhaling to descend, so really challenging hip extension as we descend. One more time. This is your hamstring flexibility, and this is testing the front of the hip. Pausing at the position that feels ideal for you, and then begin to unravel and lengthen through your left leg. So both knees can be bent as you want. Variation 1, we hold the hamstring. Option 2, slide to your calf. And variation 3, left piece fingers to your left big toe with your right hand resting on your right thigh. Exaggerate the length through the front of your right leg. Exaggerate the length through the back of your left leg. And finding softness through your face, through your shoulders. Just one more deep breath, please. And then open your right arm out and begin to open your left leg out. So once again, I encourage you to bend your knees as much as you need. Right hip stays grounded, pelvis stays level, and we'll turn to look to our right for 3 more breaths. Roll the flesh of your left leg open. Be powerful through the right leg. This guy's already in Shavasana. Inhale back to the midline with your leg and your hand, and on your exhalation, gently releasing. Take a moment to let the pelvis release. Let any tension go. And then let's gather the knees back in again. Just taking a moment to rock gently to release any tension that might have developed in the lumbar spine. We'll find our stillness and we'll keep our right knee at our chest. We'll take a breath in as we lengthen through the left leg. And on your exhalation, descend only as far as there's no compromise through the rest of the body. Inhaling, challenging your active hamstring flexibility. And on the exhalation, really feeling what your active hip extension feels like. One more breath. And on the exhalation, we'll slowly, mindfully lower, and you'll stay at the perfect position for you. Variation 1, keep your right knee bent. Option 2, we begin to explore our hamstring length through the right. Hold your hamstrings, hold your calf, or right peace fingers to your right big toe, with left hand pressing into left thigh. So exaggerate the length through your right leg. Exaggerate the length through the back. And feel how long and active is your left. Just one more breath before we begin to take left arm wide, right leg open. The moment you feel your left bum cheek wanting to lift up, we know we need to pull back just a little. The flesh of your right leg rolls open, and you're exaggerating the length through the left as you turn to look to your left for 3 more breaths. On your in-breath, please return your left arm, your right leg, and on your exhalation, slowly, gently let your right leg find the floor. Close your eyes and take a moment to feel the body. And just our last few postures, moving into your back bend of choice. We'll take the same shape with bridge as your starting position. But I'd like that right knee to come into your chest. Keep the right knee bent. Press your palms into the floor. Feel the four corners of your left foot. Flatten your lumbar spine by tucking your tailbone. And when you're ready, just lifting up on your in-breath and exhaling to lower. Variation 2, you could lengthen through that leg. Exhaling to lower. And variation 3, you could get onto the tips of your left toes. Exhale to lower. Let's just do 3 more. It doesn't matter which option. So it's an inhalation to lift, feeling the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, working with the back extensors. And one more time, touch the sky, touch the ceiling with your right toes before gently rippling your way down. Gather the knees to your chest. Just take a moment here before grounding through the right foot. Feeling the four corners of the right foot, your hamstring, your glute already activated. Press your palms into the floor as you lift on your in-breath. Exhaling to lower, bent knee, variation 1. Variation 2, lengthening through your left hamstring as you perform a single leg bridge through the right. And variation 3, we can get onto the tips of the toes. Exhaling to lower. So 3 more repetitions. Tuck the tail, lifting through the pelvis, shoulders broad, and ripple your way down through the upper, middle, lower back, and pelvis. Last 2, or did I give you an extra one? This is it. One more time. Up, 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 up we go. Before gently, slowly easing our way back down. Please gather the knees, separate the knees, stand on the ceiling. Hold your hamstrings, your ankles, or your feet for your happy baby pose. Chin is in, shoulders soften. Completely letting go. And inviting gentle movement. Observing the body, aware of the sensations, but letting go of the compulsion to label it, to judge it. Just feel it. One more breath with movement before we find our stillness. And then please hug your knees in. We'll move into a reclining figure 4 with our left leg crossing over our right, threading through if that feels possible for your body. Draw the toes back. Please check the hip and the knee are aligned with the shoulder. Use the strength of your arms to enhance it if you need more. On your in-breath, lengthening through your right leg. And on your exhalation, just bend your knee again. 2 more of these. Full breath in. One more time. Gently, slowly, meticulously retrace your steps. We'll slide the left leg over. We'll take cactus arms to open up the chest. You'll shift your pelvis slightly to the left and your knees will journey to the right. Left arm stays anchored. Right hand is welcome to lovingly press you into deeper rotation. And either gazing skywards or looking to your left. Feel your left lungs. Feel where the quadratus lumborum attaches. Ooh. You'll feel your TFL, you'll feel your glute med. You might even feel this all the way down your ITB. Wherever you feel it, perfect. And when you're ready, just return your eyes back to the sky before easing our way out of that shape. Take a moment to uncross, center your pelvis, and just a gentle rock if you feel any tension in your lower back. Once we've arrived safely, right foot is crossing over. So this is considered a pure form of stretch. So we're going to thread through, but it's stretching all of the internal rotators of the pelvis, of the back of the pelvis. So we draw our toes back, we mount through our shoulders. We really encourage our knee towards our left shoulder. And then we can begin to lengthen and gently bend. So piriformis, such an amazing muscle. We have got so many gorgeous muscles. But piriformis is quite fascinating. So if the leg is lengthened, and if the hip is just open, such as in standing, piriformis is an external rotator of the femur. So it opens the femur out. It opens the thigh muscle out. But when the hip flexes, so like when we're in a seated position, so when the hip is 60 to 90 degrees, just one more of these, we'll stay for a breath. It transitions into an internal rotator. I don't know about you, but that just blows my mind. One more breath. And gently ease your way down. We'll open our wings. We'll snug our leg over, so right leg over. A little shift of your pelvis to the right, and then let's move the knees to the left. Left hand can encourage you into deeper lumbar rotation, but just be careful, be gentle. And we're opening up through pec major, pec minor, and the external rotators of the shoulder joint in this shape. You're welcome to look to ceiling or looking to your right, but just stay and soak up all of the goodness from your ITB to your anterior fibers of your glute med and your glute min, your TFL, your obliques, your quadratus lumborum, and then all of these beautiful muscles through the front of the shoulder. So much goodness in one stretch. One more breath before you begin to navigate your way safely. Use your core, use your arms. And please take any final stretches your body is craving. And when you are ready, we'll just pause and drop into stillness. Maybe a tiny little wiggle through the thighs, through the hips, through your shoulders, maybe even your neck. And then just land in your bodies. Following the breath, guiding you deeper into your own space. And please steady your eyes on the back of your forehead, as if you were watching a movie screen. And just notice, regardless of what flashes up on the screen, you are the awareness. You are the observer. Comedy, drama, so much joy, sometimes pain, sorrow. But just notice how it arises on your movie screen, on the back of your forehead. But you are separate to it. You are the awareness. You are the observer. You are the eternal essence, the eternal flame. You are the eternal essence. You are the eternal flame. So on the back of your forehead, maybe now, just creating an image of a candle, of a flame. Maybe it's a fire. And taking just a couple more moments to bask in your own light. And silently, internally affirm to yourself, I am the eternal flame. And the wind may extinguish a candle, but it fuels a fire. I am the eternal fire within my soul. Taking one more breath as you bask in your own light. And then we begin to deepen our breath, stoking our own inner fire, our Agni. And we begin to dance with delight through our fingers, through our toes, that we have bodies that move, that we have lungs that breathe deeply, and a heart that continues to fuel our very existence. When you're ready, I'd love for you to reach your arms overhead. Take a full body stretch from fingertip to toe before sliding your arms down, bending your knees one at a time. Gather your knees to your beautiful hearts and hug yourselves lovingly. Rock your bodies so, so gently before rolling to the right hand side. And let's just linger for one intentional breath. We'll press the earth away. None of that on camera. We'll come to a seated position, any position that feels good to you. You can come on up if you like. We'll lengthen through our spines. We'll grow tall into the space above us. And let's just place a hand on our heart. From my heart to yours and skies. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful yogis. We hope you have a wonderful day. Look forward to seeing you soon.